There comes a moment in every life when the truth hits like lightning. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot achieve greatness while bending to every expectation, every opinion, every demand that is not yours to carry. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is survival. It is power. And it is the first act of true mastery. The moment you decide to put yourself first, something undeniable begins to shift. You break free from the invisible chains of approval. The voices that once held you hostage lose their grip. Suddenly, you are no longer reacting to the world. You are commanding it. Choosing yourself demands clarity. You must define in exact terms what you will no longer sacrifice, what you will no longer tolerate, and what you will finally pursue with relentless focus. This choice transforms your energy. Every thought becomes sharper. Every action becomes deliberate. Every failure becomes fuel. When you prioritize yourself, the hesitation, the doubt, the endless second-guessing evaporates. You are no longer a passive participant in life. You become a magnet for opportunity, for resources, for people who resonate with your vision. But understand this, choosing yourself ignites fear. It is supposed to. Fear, guilt, the whispers of what if and they'll think are your mind's way of testing your courage. The difference between the ordinary and the extraordinary is simple. Those who move forward anyway, those who act despite the shaking knees, the racing heart, the voices that say you are wrong. Action in the face of fear is the only currency of true self-mastery. As you commit, you will see doors open you never even noticed. Opportunities align like clockwork, and people who once distracted or drained you will fade, while allies, mentors, and forces of growth gravitate toward your orbit. Momentum builds. One decisive act leads to another. Consistency compounds. Your life, once a scattered mess of compromises, now hums with precision, clarity, and unstoppable forward motion. Choosing yourself does not isolate you. It amplifies your influence. The mirror effect is real. When you respect your time, your vision, and your energy, others begin to respect it too. Your relationships sharpen. Your leadership deepens. Your presence commands attention, not because you demand it, but because you embody a truth that cannot be ignored. You are unshakable, intentional, and whole. And finally, there is the ultimate reward. Not wealth, not fame, not recognition. The true prize is freedom. The freedom to live on your terms, the freedom to create without compromise, the freedom to wake up each morning and know that you answer to one master alone, your own potential. This is power that cannot be taken, a legacy of self-mastery that outlives every circumstance, every challenge, every voice that once said you could not. So here is the choice before you: continue bending to the weight of everyone else's expectations, or step into the life that has always been waiting for you, the life that chooses you. When you finally place yourself above all else, everything changes. Your vision sharpens, your energy ignites, your courage awakens, your opportunities multiply, and your life becomes a statement of undeniable truth. You are here to win, to create, and to rise above mediocrity. Choose yourself. No excuses, no apologies, no delay. Step forward, claim your life, and watch how the world rearranges itself around the power of your decision. This is what happens when you finally choose yourself above all else. The moment of choice arrives quietly, but its impact is seismic. It hits without warning when life no longer allows excuses, when your dreams refuse to wait any longer, and when you are forced to face the truth you have been living for everyone else, bending to their expectations, carrying their burdens, and trading your power for approval. That moment is your awakening, the instant when you see with brutal clarity that nothing will change until you decide that you, and only you, matter most. Choosing yourself is not selfish. It is not reckless. It is the foundation of everything powerful, everything lasting, everything extraordinary. Until this choice is made, your energy is scattered, your focus diluted, and your life subject to the whims of others. Once you decide, once you take that step, the world shifts, your priorities crystallize, your vision sharpens, your mind no longer wanders in hesitation or doubt. Every action, every thought, every heartbeat aligns with the single undeniable command of your purpose. In this moment, you confront fear like never before. Fear of judgment, fear of disappointment, fear of isolation. The voices that once controlled you, the invisible chains of expectation, suddenly roar, attempting to pull you back. They whisper that choosing yourself is arrogant, that putting your dreams above the comfort of others is wrong. They are wrong. That fear is not a warning to stop. It is the proof that you are finally standing in the arena of your own life, that you are stepping into power. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is acting in its presence, advancing toward your destiny while every instinct cries retreat. The moment you act anyway, the ground beneath you trembles with possibility, and the universe begins to respond to the energy you have released. Clarity becomes your weapon. When you choose yourself, confusion falls away like dust. You see the exact areas of your life that demand your attention and the people, habits, and patterns that drain it. Every compromise that once held meaning now appears for what it truly is, a distraction, a theft of your potential, a delay of your destiny. With this clarity comes ruthless focus. You no longer move in circles. You no longer apologize for saying no. You no longer fear the temporary discomfort of change because you understand that each deliberate action is a deposit into your future, a building block of the life you refuse to negotiate away. Energy transforms in ways you could never imagine. By placing yourself above all else, you reclaim the vitality that was once scattered across obligations, conflicts, and the endless pursuit of others' approval. Your mind sharpens, your body responds, your emotions stabilize, the weight of wasted effort lifts. You discover that energy is not just a resource, it is a signal, a magnet that draws opportunities, mentors, allies, and circumstances toward you. When you are fully present in your purpose, when you act decisively in alignment with your own goals, the world bends, not through force, but through the irresistible pull of your commitment. This choice demands sacrifices, and it will test you relentlessly. Old patterns will resist. Relationships built on convenience rather than authenticity will strain. Doubt will rise like a tide, attempting to drown your resolve. And yet these tests are not punishments. They are confirmations. Each obstacle, each moment of discomfort, each skeptical glance is a sign that you are finally on the correct path, the one that demands everything from you and promises everything in return. There is no growth without resistance. There is no victory without the struggle to own yourself fully. As you embrace this path, momentum becomes unstoppable. Every decision, once made from clarity and self-prioritization, compounds into power. Small victories accumulate into monumental shifts. Your days are no longer wasted in indecision or appeasement. Your actions become magnets for resources and allies that previously seemed elusive. The universe begins to rearrange itself around your energy. Doors open not by chance, but because your focus has created a vacuum that opportunity cannot resist. This is the law of aligned action. The moment you prioritize yourself, you set in motion a chain reaction that transforms everything around you. Relationships, influence, and authority evolve naturally. When you respect yourself, when you demand your own time and energy, others begin to mirror that respect. You will see people gravitate toward your confidence, your clarity, your vision. You will notice that influence is no longer earned by charm or compromise, but by presence and consistency. Choosing yourself does not alienate, it amplifies. The people, opportunities, and experiences worthy of your life will align effortlessly, while those that are not will naturally fall away. Finally, the ultimate reward is revealed. Freedom becomes tangible. Freedom from the tyranny of expectation. Freedom from wasted energy. Freedom from regret. The life you create is a direct reflection of your commitment to yourself. Wealth, achievement, recognition, all these are secondary. The true prize is sovereignty over your mind, mastery over your actions, and the unshakable knowledge that your life is yours alone. Every challenge met, every fear confronted, every decision made in alignment with yourself becomes a testament to your power. Choosing yourself is not an event. It is a lifelong declaration. It is the point at which you claim ownership over every heartbeat, every moment, every opportunity. It is the moment you stop living for anyone but the one who matters most, when you finally decide there is no turning back. You will never settle for less than you deserve. You will never sacrifice your vision for comfort. You will never again allow the noise of others to dictate your path. Your focus, your energy, your courage, and your purpose converge into an unstoppable force. The moment of choice is the moment you awaken. It is the point at which your life accelerates, your potential awakens, and your power is realized. Nothing can hold you when you step fully into yourself, claim your worth, and demand the life you were born to live. The moment you stop seeking approval, the chains that have held you captive your entire life begin to shatter. Every word of validation you once craved, every nod, every smile, every silent measure of acceptance from others suddenly loses its power. The world has spent years teaching you to bend, to shrink, to sacrifice your own priorities for the fleeting comfort of being liked, being understood, being tolerated. But approval is a mirage. It is a debt you can never repay, a weight you can never unload, and the longer you carry it, the smaller your life becomes. The instant you stop asking for permission, the instant you refuse to negotiate your worth with someone else's opinion, you reclaim the energy, the time, and the audacity that has been stolen from you. Choosing yourself begins here. Freedom begins when you realize that every yes given out of obligation, fear, or desire for acceptance is a lie. It is a betrayal of your potential, a theft of your future. The people who demand your approval are not your guides. They are mirrors of their own insecurities. They will praise you when convenient, judge you when threatened, and drain you when distracted. Their approval is neither constant nor reliable, yet for years you built your actions around it. Imagine the weight that lifts the moment you stop performing, stop explaining, stop bending to the invisible expectations that never served your growth. Suddenly your mind is clear, your vision uncompromised, and your energy flows where it was meant to all along, toward yourself, your goals, your life. Breaking free is not painless. It provokes resistance from every corner of your world. Family, friends, colleagues, even strangers may recoil, confused by your refusal to conform. They will call you selfish, arrogant, reckless. That is the language of mediocrity speaking to courage. Approval is comfortable. It is soft, it cushions failure, delays discomfort, and disguises growth. But comfort is the enemy of progress. When you prioritize yourself over the fleeting applause of others, every challenge becomes sharper, every setback becomes fuel, and every decision becomes a test of you. Commitment. The world will resist because you are no longer pliable. You are no longer predictable. You are alive in a way that commands your own respect first. The energy you reclaim is staggering. Each moment spent seeking validation is energy wasted. Each hour spent explaining your choices to the naysayers is an hour stolen from your potential. The moment you break free, you redirect that energy into creation, into action, into the relentless pursuit of what you were born to do. Your thoughts no longer scatter in attempts to anticipate the judgments of others. Your focus tightens. Your productivity soars. You begin to notice doors that were invisible before, opportunities that were always present but ignored because your attention was chained to the opinions of people who did not matter. Approval is a currency that cannot buy results, but self-belief is a magnet that attracts everything necessary to succeed. There is a test embedded in this freedom. The mind will rebel, doubt will creep, and old habits of seeking acceptance will try to reclaim control. That voice inside that says, "They will reject you, they will leave you, you are alone," is precisely why you must persist. Fear and guilt are the indicators that you are finally doing what matters. Courage is measured not in comfort, but in the defiance of these internal barriers. The stronger the pull of approval, the greater the power you gain when you release it. Every act of self-prioritization compounds, transforming hesitation into momentum, indecision into clarity, and anxiety into unstoppable resolve. Breaking free attracts the right forces into your life. The people, opportunities, and experiences that are aligned with your vision will gravitate toward your authenticity. You no longer settle for toxic influence, half-hearted collaboration, or diluted energy. Your relationships evolve because you are no longer operating from fear or dependency. Influence becomes natural because respect is no longer requested. It is commanded by the authority of someone who refuses to compromise their own standards. Approval fades into insignificance because you have become proof of what consistent, intentional action can achieve when no external validation is required. This freedom unlocks clarity. You begin to see the world as it is, stripped of illusion and distraction. Your goals are no longer borrowed from social expectation. Your priorities no longer dictated by fear of criticism. Every decision is measured against your vision, every action weighed by your own standard of excellence, and every step taken with the assurance that you answer only to the person capable of making your life extraordinary, yourself. Nothing external can sway your momentum because your foundation rests on certainty, discipline, and self-respect. The ultimate reward is undeniable. Choosing yourself over approval creates sovereignty over your life. You live unshakable, unbound, and fully present. Fear of judgment loses its grip, and procrastination, driven by the need to be liked, evaporates. Opportunities multiply because your focus is no longer fractured. Every choice you make builds strength, every challenge you embrace increases resilience, and every act of courage compounds into influence, power, and freedom that no one can take from you. You become the architect of your destiny, the master of your energy, and the owner of a life that cannot be diluted by the whims of others. When you finally let go of the need for approval, you step into a version of yourself that is unstoppable. Your vision sharpens, your action intensifies, and your courage awakens. You no longer negotiate for acceptance. You create it through results, through discipline, through an unrelenting commitment to the life you were born to lead. Approval was never the key, it was the trap. Freedom is the reward, and it begins the moment you break free. Clarity of purpose is the force that separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. It is the moment when hesitation vanishes, distractions evaporate, and every action aligns with a vision that cannot be ignored. Without clarity, energy leaks into uncertainty, time is wasted on trivialities, and potential lies dormant beneath layers of confusion. The moment you define your purpose with precision, you activate a power that is unstoppable. Purpose is not a vague desire, a fleeting dream, or a borrowed goal. It is a declaration of intent so vivid and compelling that it becomes a magnet for your future. It commands your attention, focuses your energy, and ignites a determination that no obstacle can extinguish. When your purpose is clear, indecision disappears. Every choice, every opportunity, every challenge becomes a test of alignment. You no longer drift with the opinions of others, nor do you chase what is convenient or comfortable. Instead, you measure every action against the standard of your vision, asking yourself, does this move me closer to the life I intend to create, or does it distract me from it? That standard becomes your compass. It guides your actions with precision and removes the wasted energy of compromise. The clearer your purpose, the sharper your focus, and the more unstoppable your momentum. Defining purpose requires courage because it forces you to confront uncomfortable truths. It demands that you face the habits, relationships, and patterns that have been sabotaging your potential. It forces you to ask the questions no one else will ask for you. What do I truly want? Who am I willing to become to get it? What will I refuse to tolerate in my life? These questions are not easy, but they are necessary. Without them, life drifts like a ship without a rudder, carried by currents you cannot control. With them, life becomes a deliberate act. Every moment a conscious step toward mastery, achievement, and freedom. Clarity of purpose transforms your energy in ways you cannot imagine until you experience it. When your vision is defined, your mind stops wandering. Fear loses its grip because you are no longer distracted by uncertainty. Every failure becomes feedback. Every challenge becomes a stepping stone, and every decision is imbued with meaning. This is not motivation, it is alignment. The difference between movement and progress lies in purpose. Movement without purpose is busy work, a drain on your vitality. Progress, relentless and unstoppable, is born only from clarity. When you know exactly what you are creating and why, every action becomes a lever that moves your life forward with precision. Purpose is also the ultimate filter. Once it is defined, distractions lose their appeal. Opportunities that do not serve your vision are immediately recognizable and easily discarded. Relationships that do not align with your growth become irrelevant. The opinions of the masses, the noise of the world, the fleeting temptations of comfort, all fall away. The clarity you cultivate acts like a lens, focusing sunlight into a single beam capable of cutting through inertia, mediocrity, and doubt. Your life no longer diffuses energy into the trivial or the unnecessary because your purpose demands that every ounce of effort counts. When your purpose is clear, the fear of judgment fades. Approval from others becomes irrelevant because your path is no longer dependent on anyone's validation. The goals you pursue are yours alone, rooted in a vision that cannot be compromised. The people, resources, and circumstances that align with your clarity are drawn to you effortlessly. The universe responds to precision and intensity. You begin to notice doors opening, opportunities appearing, and connections forming, all because your energy is concentrated and intentional. Clarity of purpose is not passive. It commands the world to meet you where you are headed. Purpose also accelerates resilience. When setbacks occur, as they always will, you do not crumble. Every obstacle becomes a test of commitment. Every failure, a lesson etched in experience. Without purpose, setbacks feel like disasters. With purpose, they are recalibrations, recalculations, and confirmations that your path is real, that your energy is focused, and that your potential is unfolding exactly as it should. Clarity instills a patience that is not passive but active, a discipline that does not waver, and a determination that cannot be shaken by temporary defeat. The clarity of your vision ultimately defines the magnitude of your achievement. It is the invisible engine that drives your decisions, the compass that guides your steps, and the anchor that stabilizes your mind in chaos. It converts ambition into strategy, desire into action, and potential into results. Without clarity, effort is wasted, energy dissipates, and progress is slow. With clarity, every thought, every choice, and every movement becomes a deliberate act in the creation of the life you were destined to live. When clarity is achieved, the life you once imagined begins to crystallize before you. Confusion is replaced by confidence, doubt by certainty, and hesitation by bold action. Every day is purposeful, every effort multiplied, every moment a building block of mastery. Clarity of purpose is not a state of being. It is a declaration of power. It is the moment you stop wandering and start creating with intention, the moment you transform potential into tangible results, and the moment your life accelerates beyond the ordinary into a trajectory of unstoppable momentum. The power of purpose is absolute. It sharpens focus, magnifies energy, silences doubt, and aligns every part of your being toward a single, undeniable truth. Your life is yours to define, your destiny is yours to claim, and nothing external can derail the course you set with precision, courage, and unyielding intent. Clarity of purpose is the starting point of all greatness, the foundation of resilience, and the force that propels ordinary individuals into extraordinary lives. The moment you take ownership of your life, the energy within you begins to shift in ways that are impossible to ignore. It is subtle at first, almost imperceptible, like a current flowing beneath the surface, but soon it becomes undeniable, unstoppable, and transformative. The energy you once wasted on fear, doubt, and the approval of others suddenly redirects toward your goals, your vision, your growth. Every thought, every decision, every action carries more weight, more focus, more intensity. This is not mere motivation or temporary excitement. It is a recalibration of your very being, a realignment of your mind, body, and spirit toward the singular purpose of creating the life you were meant to live. This energy shift begins when you stop draining yourself on what does not serve you. Every minute spent worrying about what others think, every hour spent explaining yourself, every ounce of effort given to distractions or obligations that carry no long-term value is energy lost. Once you reclaim it, it floods your system, revitalizing your mind, sharpening your focus, and accelerating your actions. You will notice an immediate difference in the way you perceive challenges. Problems no longer feel like obstacles. They are opportunities for growth, proving grounds for your strength, and signals that you are operating on a higher level than before. The shift also transforms your emotional state. Fear, doubt, anxiety, and indecision begin to lose their grip because your energy is no longer scattered. Each thought is intentional, each decision deliberate, each action fueled by purpose. You move with a confidence that is not arrogant but unshakable. You no longer expend energy trying to predict the future or control circumstances beyond your influence. Instead, every resource is directed inward, toward mastery, discipline, and consistent action. This is the energy of winners, the force that separates those who dream from those who achieve, and it is available to anyone willing to claim it fully. This new energy affects every area of your life. Physically, you will feel more alert, more capable, more responsive to your environment. Mentally, your clarity intensifies and your focus becomes a weapon against distraction. Emotionally, you gain resilience and control, able to respond rather than react, able to choose rather than comply. Spiritually, you recognize the power of your own will, the strength of your self-belief, and the inevitability of your own success when energy is harnessed deliberately. The shift is total because life responds to energy. Where your energy flows, results follow. When you operate at this elevated level, the world conspires to match your intensity. Resistance is inevitable. Your old habits, your comfort zones, and the expectations of others will fight to reclaim the energy you have freed. The voice inside that says, "It's too difficult, too risky, too lonely," will attempt to drag you back. The people who once controlled your actions with their approval, criticism, or indifference will notice your change and may attempt to pull you down. This is the natural reaction to transformation. Energy always meets resistance when it rises above the ordinary. The difference between stagnation and unstoppable growth lies in persistence. The moment you push past discomfort, the energy shift strengthens, reinforcing your commitment, magnifying your results, and accelerating your life beyond anything you have known. Your focus will sharpen as well. Every choice becomes a test of alignment. Does this move me closer to my goals, or does it distract me? The energy shift filters distractions automatically. Time-wasting activities lose appeal, toxic relationships become irrelevant, and minor setbacks cease to drain your vitality. Your day becomes an instrument, each action a chord resonating with intention and purpose. Energy is no longer diffuse. It is concentrated like sunlight through a lens, capable of cutting through inertia, mediocrity, and doubt. With each passing day, the shift becomes more pronounced, more natural, and more irreversible. The energy you cultivate also attracts opportunity. People, resources, and circumstances align themselves with those who operate on higher levels. The moment your energy elevates, you stop chasing and start attracting. Mentors appear, alliances form, and possibilities manifest that were invisible when your energy was scattered. Success is not a matter of luck. It is a matter of vibration. High-intensity, deliberate energy calls in results, and once you understand this, life becomes a force multiplied by your intention. Every action is compounded, every decision amplified, and every effort rewarded exponentially. This shift is also deeply liberating. You no longer live in reaction to the opinions, judgments, or actions of others. You are free from the toxic pull of comparison and the draining need for approval. Your energy is yours to deploy fully and intentionally. You are no longer a passive participant in life, drifting with currents you cannot control. You are active, decisive, and powerful. The moment your energy aligns with your vision, inertia is replaced with momentum, hesitation with bold action, and fear with determination. Finally, this energy shift creates a momentum that cannot be stopped. Every step forward compounds, every victory builds strength, every challenge adds resilience. Your mind, body, and spirit operate in unison, unstoppable, unwavering, and undistracted. The results you achieve are not random. They are inevitable, the natural consequence of concentrated, intentional, and persistent energy. Once you fully embrace this shift, you no longer wait for external circumstances to dictate your progress. You move forward relentlessly, and the world rearranges itself to accommodate your power. The energy shift is the awakening of your potential. It transforms the ordinary into extraordinary, the hesitant into decisive, the distracted into focused. It is the force that makes self-doubt irrelevant, fear powerless, and failure temporary. Every ounce of effort becomes a lever, every day a multiplier, and every decision a step toward unstoppable momentum. This is the force that builds legends, the power that creates empires, and the clarity that transforms dreams into tangible results. Energy is life itself, and when harnessed deliberately, it becomes the most powerful tool for achievement you will ever know. Fear is the fire that tests every ounce of your resolve, and the moment it appears, you discover who you truly are. It is the undeniable signal that you are stepping beyond the safe, the comfortable, the predictable, and into the arena where growth, power, and achievement are forged. Fear is not a weakness. It is the measure of your potential. The intensity of the fear you feel corresponds to the magnitude of the life waiting for you on the other side. Those who avoid fear remain trapped in mediocrity, trapped in lives dictated by comfort and other people's expectations. Those who confront it, act despite it, and move forward regardless, unlock a force within themselves that cannot be stopped, cannot be contained, and cannot be ignored. The fear test is relentless. It comes in many forms: the fear of failure, the fear of judgment, the fear of rejection, the fear of being misunderstood, and the fear of stepping into a life that demands more than you thought you had. Every voice that whispers you can't is a challenge disguised as doubt. Every moment of hesitation, every pang of anxiety, every scenario where your instincts cry retreat is an invitation to demonstrate courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is taking deliberate, calculated action while fear rages within you. It is moving forward when every cell in your body wants to run, hiding behind excuses and clinging to security. The fear test is designed to separate those who merely dream from those who dominate. To pass this test, you must first acknowledge fear without surrendering to it. Ignoring it does not defeat it, it magnifies it, allowing it to control you unconsciously. You must name it, understand it, and confront it with intention. Fear is a signal, not a sentence. It tells you where your comfort zone ends and where your growth begins. Every step taken in alignment with your purpose, every action taken despite the internal resistance, compounds your courage. It strengthens your resilience and reshapes your identity. The mind learns through action, not contemplation. By facing fear directly, you convert it from a barrier into fuel, from a paralyzing force into a propellant for progress. Fear will manifest as pressure. You will feel your heart race, your palms sweat, your mind scramble with worst-case scenarios. These are not signs of weakness. They are confirmations that you are operating at the edge of your potential. The intensity of discomfort indicates the magnitude of the opportunity. The greater the fear, the greater the reward waiting on the other side. Those who interpret these signals correctly do not flinch. They act. Action in the presence of fear multiplies your energy, sharpens your focus, and sends a signal to the world that you are no longer negotiable, no longer avoidant, and no longer bound by self-doubt. Fear becomes irrelevant when your purpose, clarity, and resolve outweigh the voices of hesitation. The fear test exposes every flaw, every hesitation, every weakness you have ignored. It is merciless because it must be. You cannot grow, lead, or achieve extraordinary results without confronting the limits of your courage. The world will not adjust to your comfort level. Success is not waiting politely for your confidence to catch up. It demands that you act decisively, even when trembling, even when uncertain, and even when the outcome is unclear. Each act of courage against fear compounds, building momentum that cannot be reversed. You begin to realize that the only real barrier is the one you construct in your mind, and the only way through is through deliberate action. As you confront fear repeatedly, something shifts deep within you. The body adapts, the mind recalibrates, the spirit strengthens. You become someone who is no longer ruled by circumstances or the opinions of others. You learn that discomfort is temporary, but the rewards of courage are permanent. You discover that every risk taken with intention adds to a foundation of confidence that cannot be shaken by setbacks. Fear becomes a teacher, a marker, a guidepost signaling that you are on the path to something greater than the life you have allowed yourself to accept. The fear test also filters your environment. People who thrive in the comfort of mediocrity will resist your transformation. They will attempt to pull you back, distract you, and convince you that your courage is dangerous or unnecessary. Those who are aligned with your vision, however, will rise alongside you. The energy you cultivate by confronting fear attracts resources, opportunities, and relationships that match your level of courage. Fear separates the spectators from the participants, and those who consistently act in spite of it dominate the field of achievement. Every challenge, every moment of hesitation, every high-stakes decision is a micro-test of your willingness to claim your life. When you embrace fear as a necessary companion, when you learn to act with it rather than run from it, you unlock an exponential increase in personal power. Fear becomes irrelevant because your purpose, discipline, and action are stronger than any imagined consequence. You begin to live a life unshakable by doubt, unbound by indecision, and unstoppable in the pursuit of your goals. The ultimate truth of the fear test is this: nothing external can limit you as much as the fear you refuse to confront. Every success story, every act of dominance, every life transformed begins with the decision to act in spite of fear. Courage is a habit forged through repeated confrontation with uncertainty. Action, not intention, is the measure of mastery. When you face fear and choose yourself, the barriers dissolve. You move with clarity, purpose, and relentless momentum, and the life you were capable of achieving all along unfolds before you with unstoppable force. The moment you commit fully to yourself, the universe begins to rearrange in your favor, and opportunity aligns with precision. Nothing in life is random. Every connection, every resource, every circumstance is drawn to the energy you radiate, and when you act with clarity, purpose, and courage, doors that were once invisible swing open effortlessly. Opportunity does not chase those who hesitate, who compromise, or who wait for permission. It responds to those who operate with intensity, those who move with deliberate action, and those who place themselves first, refusing to settle for anything less than what they are capable of achieving. When you align yourself with your true potential, life becomes a series of calculated openings, each one designed to test, reward, and accelerate your growth. Alignment begins with focus. You cannot recognize opportunity if your attention is scattered, if your energy is divided between fear, distraction, and the approval of others. The world will always offer countless paths, many of them tempting, many of them destructive, and only those who have a clear vision can discern which direction is correct. The moment your priorities are defined, everything else becomes secondary. Doors close behind you and in front of you, but those aligned with your purpose are illuminated. You no longer chase chance, you attract it. You no longer stumble through life, you navigate it with precision. This is the power of alignment. It converts your clarity and courage into a magnetic force that draws the right people, situations, and opportunities directly to you. Resistance is inevitable, and testing your alignment is part of the process. Not every door that appears is for you, and not every opportunity is beneficial. Life will present options that appear attractive but lead away from your path. Your job is to filter these distractions with absolute honesty and ruthless discipline. Opportunity is never accidental. It arrives in response to consistent action and unwavering commitment. You learn to recognize signals from the universe: timing, synchronicity, resonance, and momentum. Each aligned opportunity confirms that you are moving in the right direction, while misaligned offers act as lessons in discernment, guiding you to stay true to your focus. The energy you emit when fully aligned is unlike anything else. It is a vibration of confidence, purpose, and momentum that people notice instinctively. Others are drawn to it. Mentors, collaborators, and resources converge around those who operate on this level because they recognize authenticity and commitment. The energy of alignment is a filter. It naturally repels those who would distract or dilute your progress, and it magnetizes those who can elevate, support, and accelerate you. You become a node of influence, not through charm or effort, but through the undeniable force of your vision and the consistency of your actions. Timing also reveals itself through alignment. Opportunities that once seemed distant or impossible suddenly manifest. The right people appear in your life. precisely when you are prepared to act decisively. Circumstances shift to favor your progress. The world does not bend for the timid or the hesitant, but for those whose energy is concentrated, consistent, and directed with unwavering intention. Every aligned action compounds. Small steps taken repeatedly and purposefully converge into a momentum that is irresistible. This is the law of attraction applied with precision. Clarity plus courage plus consistent action equals alignment, and alignment equals unstoppable progress. The power of opportunity alignment is magnified by courage. Fear will always attempt to interfere, whispering that you are unworthy, unprepared, or too late. Those who succeed despite fear experience opportunity differently. They do not allow hesitation to dilute their advantage. Every calculated risk, every decisive action, and every moment of commitment multiplies the opportunities that follow. Alignment amplifies your energy, sharpens your discernment, and creates a trajectory of success that grows exponentially as you act with precision. Those who hesitate, by contrast, see potential slip past them because energy that is scattered cannot attract results. Alignment is also about responsibility. When opportunity presents itself, it demands that you act, that you take ownership, and that you execute. The universe does not reward intention alone. Every door aligned with your vision comes with expectations. To rise to the challenge, to leverage resources intelligently, and to expand your capacity to handle greater responsibility. This is how momentum accelerates, action begets opportunity, which demands more action, which opens more doors. It is a cycle that favors those willing to operate consistently, decisively, and without compromise. Every choice you make from alignment compounds your power. You begin to recognize patterns where once there was chaos. Connections, resources, and timing converge with almost mathematical precision. The harder you focus, the more energy you concentrate, the more consistent your actions, the more the universe responds. Opportunity is no longer a matter of luck. It becomes predictable, calculable, and inevitable. The life you have been striving for is no longer a distant dream, but a trajectory of events that your energy, courage, and clarity have created. Finally, opportunity alignment transforms your life from reactive to proactive. You no longer wait for life to hand you what you want, because you have lay. Armed that opportunity always favors those who prepare, act, and persist. You move through challenges with precision. You recognize value instantly. You seize the right moments decisively, and the momentum builds until hesitation, distraction, and fear have no power over you. Your world rearranges itself around your energy, and every aligned opportunity accelerates your progress in a compounding, unstoppable rhythm. When you align fully with your purpose, the life you deserve, the success you envision, and the influence you were born to wield become inevitable, and nothing can divert you from the path you have carved with clarity, courage, and relentless action. Momentum is the silent force that transforms intention into achievement, potential into results, and effort into extraordinary impact. It begins the moment you decide to act consistently, with purpose, courage, and clarity, and it accelerates as you refuse to stop, no matter the obstacles. Momentum does not favor the hesitant, the distracted, or the undecided. It favors those who take deliberate steps, no matter how small, and repeat them relentlessly. The power of momentum is invisible at first. One action, one choice, one decision may seem inconsequential, but as it compounds, as energy builds on energy, and as action follows action, the force becomes unstoppable. Momentum is not created by luck or chance. It is the inevitable result of deliberate, continuous, and focused effort. Once momentum begins, it changes everything. Tasks that once felt daunting become manageable. Challenges that once seemed impossible transform into stepping stones. Every action you take carries a force that propels the next, and before long the inertia that once held you back is replaced by a current of unstoppable progress. Momentum feeds on itself. Success becomes easier to achieve. Confidence builds naturally. And the energy required to continue diminishes because the force you generate carries you forward. It is not acceleration by accident, it is acceleration by design. the result of disciplined focus applied consistently over time. The key to momentum is action without hesitation. Waiting for the perfect moment, for complete certainty, or for conditions to align perfectly is the enemy of progress. Momentum favors the decisive. Every choice made, every effort applied, every risk taken compounds into a trajectory that cannot be derailed by circumstance. Even failure, when faced with action and persistence, becomes a catalyst. Momentum converts mistakes into lessons, delays into opportunities, and setbacks into leverage for future acceleration. Those who understand this principle use momentum as both shield and weapon, propelling themselves through adversity with precision and power. Momentum also amplifies energy. The more consistent your effort, the stronger your focus becomes, the more aligned your actions are with your purpose, the more unstoppable your drive. Your mind, body, and spirit synchronize around a common objective, creating a feedback loop that magnifies your effectiveness. Tasks that once required tremendous effort become easier because your system is now operating in a high-energy state, primed for action. Opportunity begins to flow toward you naturally because energy attracts results, and momentum transforms effort into a force multiplier that influences every aspect of your life. Obstacles do not stop momentum, they test it. The more significant the resistance, the more powerful the acceleration when you push through. Each challenge overcome compounds strength, resilience, and confidence. Momentum is forged in the furnace of adversity. The person who continues to move forward when others retreat creates an unstoppable vector that cannot be resisted. Every act of persistence increases velocity, every decision reinforced by focus compounds impact, and every step forward becomes easier because you are no longer starting from zero. You are building on the force you have. Already generated. Momentum also changes perception. As progress accumulates, self-doubt loses power, fear diminishes, and hesitation becomes irrelevant. You no longer question whether you are capable because results, accumulated action, and forward movement prove it repeatedly. The external world begins to respond differently as well. People notice your consistency, your drive, and your results. Opportunities align more rapidly, relationships evolve to support your growth, and the obstacles that once loomed large now appear small compared to the force you have generated. Momentum reshapes reality because it is both a state of mind and a measurable force that directs circumstances toward your objectives. The compound effect of momentum is remarkable. Small actions repeated consistently create a force exponentially greater than sporadic, scattered effort. The first steps are always the hardest, but as momentum builds, the effort required to maintain progress diminishes while the impact multiplies. This is the principle behind every great achievement, every legendary success, and every life transformed from ordinary to extraordinary. Momentum does not ask for permission, and it does not negotiate with excuses. Once it is unleashed, it drives results, shapes perception, and accelerates potential beyond what was previously imaginable. Momentum also protects focus. Once it is established, the energy and progress you generate naturally repel distractions, interruptions, and minor setbacks. The force of repeated action creates a protective barrier around your priorities. Distractions may attempt to interfere, but the vector of momentum carries you forward. Decisions become easier because forward movement reduces the cognitive load of uncertainty. Every choice aligns with the path already created by momentum, and energy that once might have been dissipated is now concentrated into compounding results. Momentum is both a shield against chaos and a catalyst for opportunity, and mastering it is the key to achieving extraordinary outcomes in every area of life. Finally, momentum ensures that your life is no longer dictated by circumstance, opinion, or fear. It converts intention into action, action into habit, and habit into results. Every effort you apply builds velocity, every challenge overcome multiplies force, and every choice aligned with your purpose compounds power. Momentum transforms ordinary effort into unstoppable impact, hesitation into decisive action, and potential into achievement. Those who master it do not merely succeed, they dominate, influence, and create a life that is unshakable, undeniable, and inevitable. Momentum is the engine of greatness, and once it is ignited within you, there is no limit to what you can achieve. The moment you take full responsibility for yourself, the world begins to reflect exactly what you project. And this is the power of the mirror effect. Every action, every choice, every decision sends ripples outward, and what you put into your energy, your attitude, and your discipline comes back to you multiplied. The people you attract, the opportunities you encounter, the challenges you face, and the results you achieve are all mirrors of the energy you emit. The life you observe externally is nothing more than a reflection of your internal alignment. When you operate with clarity, focus, and courage, the world mirrors that strength. When you operate from doubt, hesitation, and indecision, the world mirrors that weakness. Understanding this is the key to mastery, influence, and personal power. The mirror effect is relentless and unforgiving because it does not lie. It shows you exactly where you stand, and it never hides your shortcomings. If you are inconsistent, distracted, or fearful, the reflection will be the same. Opportunities slip past you, relationships falter, and progress stagnates. If you are disciplined, purposeful, and courageous, the reflection is equally undeniable. Doors open, influence grows, and momentum accelerates. The mirror effect is impartial. It does not reward excuses, rationalizations, or complaints. It only amplifies what already exists within you. The world is a precise echo of your energy, and recognizing this truth is the first step toward taking complete control of your results. Your thoughts create the first layer of reflection. Every belief, assumption, and expectation you hold manifests outwardly. Doubt invites challenges and resistance, while confidence attracts alignment and opportunity. Your mind is the lens through which the world responds. When you think strategically, act decisively, and maintain an unshakable focus on your vision, the world bends to match that energy. The mirror does not cheat. It does not offer false positives. It simply returns the strength, clarity, and intensity you put into yourself. And this feedback loop accelerates growth for those willing to confront the reflection honestly. Your energy influences relationships. The people around you do not just exist in isolation, they mirror the state you project. When you operate from discipline, confidence, and integrity, you attract those who respect your focus, align with your purpose, and amplify your progress. When you operate from hesitation, fear, or indecision, you attract chaos, doubt, and distraction. This is why personal growth must always precede influence. To create extraordinary results, to lead effectively, and to build relationships that matter, you must first cultivate the qualities you wish to see reflected in your world. The mirror effect ensures that this alignment is not optional. It is inevitable. Every interaction you have is a reflection of your internal state. Your communication, your decisions, and your actions serve as a mirror for how others will respond. Leaders who master this understand that influence is not a matter of persuasion alone, it is a matter of alignment. People respond to energy more than words. They follow confidence more than instruction. They mirror consistency more than promises. When your inner strength is undeniable, your external reality shifts naturally. The mirror effect magnifies discipline, amplifies clarity, and rewards courage in ways that are impossible to ignore. The mirror effect also acts as a real-time feedback mechanism for personal growth. Every challenge you encounter, every difficult conversation, every setback is a reflection of where improvement is required. The world is not working against you. It is showing you precisely what you must address to progress. If you fail to reflect patience, understanding, and resilience, your environment will mirror impatience, conflict, and resistance. If you fail to project energy, focus, and courage, your opportunities and relationships will mirror scarcity and limitation. By studying the reflections, learning from them, and adjusting your internal state accordingly, you accelerate your development and magnify your results. Momentum compounds the mirror effect. Every deliberate action, every consistent choice, and every aligned decision enhances the quality of the reflection. As your discipline, clarity, and focus strengthen, the world responds more favorably, creating a compounding cycle of opportunity, influence, and success. The mirror does not judge effort alone, it amplifies results. This is why action without reflection, or reflection without action, produces inconsistent outcomes. When aligned, the mirror effect becomes a multiplier, magnifying your energy and turning deliberate effort into extraordinary impact. The mirror effect also reinforces accountability. Excuses no longer hold power because the results of inaction or misalignment are immediately reflected in your life. It eliminates ambiguity. If results are lacking, the reflection is clear. You must adjust yourself. If results flourish, the reflection is equally clear. You are on the right path. The world is impartial, precise, and unwavering. It mirrors exactly what you offer internally, and mastery lies in taking complete ownership of that reflection, knowing that every outcome is a product of the energy, intention, and consistency you contribute. Finally, the mirror effect ensures that your influence, relationships, and achievements are extensions of who you are internally. It teaches that transformation starts from within, and that external success cannot exist without internal alignment. The clarity, courage, discipline, and focus you cultivate are echoed back as opportunities, respect, and momentum. The mirror effect proves that life does not merely happen to you. It reflects you. Every choice, every action, and every decision shapes the reality that appears before your eyes. When you master yourself, the world cannot help but mirror your power, your vision, and your relentless pursuit of excellence. The moment you commit to mastering yourself, you begin building a legacy that cannot be taken, copied, or diminished. Self-mastery is the foundation upon which every extraordinary life is constructed. It is the discipline to control your thoughts, the courage to govern your emotions, the clarity to direct your actions, and the persistence to maintain focus when the world tests you relentlessly. Without mastery over yourself, success is temporary, influence is shallow, and potential remains dormant. True power emerges when you learn that the only thing you can control entirely is the person you are becoming. Every habit, every decision, every moment of deliberate action shapes the legacy you leave behind, and this legacy begins the moment you refuse to be ruled by impulse, fear, or external expectation. Self-mastery requires brutal honesty. You must confront the parts of yourself that have settled for less than excellence, that have yielded to distraction, hesitation, and self-doubt. There is no room for rationalization, excuses, or comfort in the pursuit of mastery. Every weakness acknowledged and corrected compounds into strength. Every discipline cultivated becomes a building block of authority over yourself and, by extension, over your life. The people who achieve greatness are not defined by circumstance, talent, or luck. They are defined by their ability to consistently act in alignment with their values, their vision, and their purpose, regardless of external pressures. This is the essence of a legacy that endures. The legacy of self-mastery extends beyond accomplishments. It shapes character, influence, and resilience. Mastery begins internally, but its impact is external, affecting